Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I am the Gothic Rose, and this is a channel where the news meets conspiracy theories. It makes babies in my brain, and it comes out my mouth. If this is your type of content, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and hit that bell, because I am not going to stop. Hello, dear fiends of the Den. We are talking more about the Epstein file and Trump's fractured MAGA base, including the QAnon shaman. And again, to all of the MAGA Republicans out there that want this list released, so do all of the Democrats, including me. We need to know who these people are, Republican or Democrat, and get them out of our government and live in a civilization where children are protected overall. So let's dive in. The fallout is wild. It is just off the hook. So first, we've got the whole conspiracy that Pam Bondi skipped the CPAC's anti-trafficking summit, citing a torn cornea, which is very painful. But of course, the timing raised eyebrows because it coincides with the Wall Street Journal report that she briefed Trump in May about his name appearing multiple times in the Epstein files. So her absence of it's just fueling speculation of stonewalling and all of these Epstein related disclosures. And now they want to withhold like 100,000 pages from the public, which is not right. We know that they had thousands of agents flagging any mentions of Trump in the Epstein files, and they are just still denying this, and so many MAGA influencers and a lot of Republican lawmakers are now accusing Pam Bondi of a cover-up, which calls for her resignation. And now all these subpoenas are flying around, and if Pam Bondi's having anything, it's probably a panic attack. And I would be too, because I don't think that she should be taking the brunt of all of this. Now, I did get a comment on TikTok, and I just want to show you this. As you can see here, I got a comment stating that Pam Bondi was one of the girls. Now, there are pictures online of Donald Trump with some very young looking women, as you can see, and they're all blonde. And there's a picture of one that's very, very close in proximity to Donald Trump. It's not Ivanka. She's got bangs and shoulder length blonde hair. And people are saying, allegedly, this is a young Pam Bondi. Now, all conspiracy theory here, so take it with a grain of salt. And agree with me, disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Is it possible that any of the women who are on the younger side on Trump's team were groomed by him in Florida as children? Because a lot of these women come out of Florida, like Caroline Levitt, who is like 26 or 27 years old. I really thought she was in her 40s. No joke. Seriously. And she's married to like a 56-year-old, twice her age. And it seems like maybe she was also groomed, and they all know each other. And again, this is all alleged and just where my mind goes, but it doesn't seem real that these women cannot possibly care about the Epstein files. Let's put a pin in my theories for a second and get back to facts. So Pam Bondi skips this CPAC anti-trafficking. Trump administration rolls back anti-trafficking protection. It gutted the State Department's Office to Monitor and Combat Trafficking in Persons, TIP, dismissed half the staff and paused grants. Legal aid for unaccompanied minors was also slashed. Now thousands of children have to face immigration courts alone, and this move, a lot of critics say, violates the Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act. And these cuts come amid growing frustration that Trump's base, who once saw him as a crusader against elite trafficking networks, is now seeing him as an enabler. And the fact is, all the things that he's done, all of his actions are pointing to he is enabling this. He's also not allowing the Catholic Church to report abuse within the church walls, and we know that abuse has been reported within the Catholic Church since the 1940s, 1950s, and people didn't come forward until the 80s or 90s to tell their stories. Now, this all goes back to Ghislaine Maxwell because she has met with now Deputy Attorney General and former defense attorney for Donald Trump. So she met with Todd Blanche for 2 days of questioning in Tallahassee. Her lawyer said she answered every question truthfully and without invoking privilege. And Blanche promised to reveal what was learned at the appropriate time. So this DOJ's interest suddenly in her testimony suggests that there is internal pressure to salvage credibility and because there's all these bipartisan demands for transparency, but I know that they're going to twist it their own way and still say that there was nothing. Now, the strange thing about Ghislaine Maxwell and her being in prison is the fact that her father, Robert Maxwell, and we found out in yesterday's episode that Blake Lively has hired the same legal team as Robert Maxwell used back in the day, and that was uncovered in a Vanity Fair article. So go back and listen to yesterday's episode and you can hear all about that. But Robert Maxwell once co-owned Macmillan McGraw-Hill. Do you remember that, especially Gen X? A major textbook publisher before McGraw-Hill bought out the venture in 1993 after his death. So all of us Gen X, almost all the way through high school for some of us, had the Macmillan McGraw-Hill textbooks. And after his death in 1993, I graduated in 94. It was only McGraw-Hill. Now, Robert Maxwell did not write the textbooks, but his influence was over all of the educational publishing. And what he has is alleged ties to Mossad, which is the Israeli special defenses. So this now fuels theories about all of the narratives controlled in schools. So there was that tweet from Iran that said, allegedly, that Israel offed Kennedy and stole a nuclear bomb. Now, again, I don't know why Iran tweeted that. I mean, obviously they did it after Trump bombed the shit out of their country for no reason. But it seems to me that there's a lot more to what we're being told than possible. And I'm looking into all of these factors, of course, allegedly, so add your voice. But what's happening now with his base is, we all remember the QAnon shaman, right? Jake Chansley. Now, he was like the poster child for January 6th and all of the MAGA extremism. Now he called Trump a fraud and a stupid POS over the Epstein debacle. And again, now it just warms my heart a little bit to know that so many MAGA people are against abusing children. And they were thinking they were protecting someone who was going to do the right thing, and Trump has not. So he accused Trump, the QAnon shaman, accused Trump of being compromised by Israel and Epstein, and even floated bizarre theories about Trump's cabinet engaging in black magic. Yes, we're looking into what the QAnon shaman has said. This is exactly where I want this to go, because this is the mindset, right? These are the clues I'm looking for to get into the mindset of what's going on and how we got where we got. So he's defecting, and for him to defect, this signals like a much deeper rupture in the base, because so many really believed that Trump would expose these elite trafficking rings. Now, many people did not know that when Trump and Epstein had a fallout, and Trump said he banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago in 2004 for inappropriate behavior, people took it as Trump found out that Epstein was a PDF and kicked him out, not realizing they were friends and that was their thing for 2 decades. The fight was over real estate. So for Epstein to say Trump has no morals, He doesn't care about the kids. He doesn't care about lives. What he banned him for, what was terrible behavior, was Epstein went against what his friend Trump wanted, and Trump had a hissy fit, and that's why he banned him from Mar-a-Lago. So it's incredible, the twist and the spin on it. So now, of course, we've got the cultural rebellion, South Park, Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. But let's talk South Park season 27 premiere. So it just annihilated Trump because Paramount canceled the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. So they portrayed Trump in bed with Satan and mocked the network's settlement with him. And remember, the only other person they depicted in bed with Satan was Saddam Hussein. And this one outdoes it all. Now, you know, everybody, because they know they're probably going to be canceled at some point by their major networks, is just going all out on Trump. Why not? And what's going to happen is all of these people going out against Trump, those major networks are going to collapse. And independent networks and independent news and media stations are going to rise. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about all of this, because there is so much. And thank you for joining me in the den.